So I would like to know what you think about significance of being aware of your personal brand, the promise you want to make, and how does it relate to the results you can get within your career or business.
Okay. As a career coach, it's essential for me to kind of keep up to date, as in what's trending, updating, and things like that, because I need to share that with our students. And the one thing that I can say about personal branding that relatively stays the same is what you exactly said about the self-awareness piece, but there's also self-assessment. Yes, you can go by people's feedback, and that is obviously great sometimes. However, it's also about knowing yourself truly inside and out. And I believe that a lot of students lack self-awareness, and because of the fact that unless you are, okay, I'm going to explain in the sense of unless you are working or unless you're studying the humanistic side, a lot of the content that's covered in those modules also relates and pertains to self-assessment. Because of the fact that you are going to be dealing majorly with other people, you need to be able to know how other people's behaviors can influence you and how is that going to cause a chain reaction, things like that. However, I've found this has changed now. A lot of business and IT courses do have some of these modules incorporated in the studies, but essentially it's more related to knowing about business knowledge and principles and IT knowledge and principles and marketing and what have you. Marketing is good and key because of the fact that in order for you to be able to market a product or a service, you need to understand your audience and your target audience. Absolutely. So that's essential, that kind of way. So that's essentially how I look at it, is that it's your ability to know exactly if you were to be assessed on your competencies and you think you scored a 90, but realistically you're at 75, it's important for you to be aware of that because it's going to be a part of your brand when you're selling yourself and you're not able to basically back it up. And also another thing as well is just it's knowing yourself so that you can showcase your passion. There is nothing wrong with coming up at a 75 when the bar is set at 90, because that's how you showcase your passion. You showcase your determination, your willingness to succeed, as well as essentially looking at where are your key development areas. I think that's one of the most important things that every employer wants to know is I would rather know about your development areas than your weaknesses. Because if you say weakness, you've already acknowledged and accepted the fact that this is something that I will never be good at. If you say development area, this is saying where I've been able to actually I've assessed myself from feedback, and I know that this is where I am in regards of this. This is how I will develop and how I will improve. So I can change it from a development area into one of my key strengths, and that's really, really important, I feel, because self-assessment, if you don't know what you can do and how you can benefit an organization and how you can benefit a client, if you're not realistically aware of what you can do, how are you supposed to sell yourself to anybody? How are they supposed to assess whether or not you're the right fit if you're not even too sure? So that's one of the key things when it comes to personal branding is self-assessment. It's key. You need to be aware of yourself. You need to be aware of how you interact with other people and how you come across, because a lot of people don't realize as well as that you can come across as highly confident, but perception is important. Mm-hmm. So who is your audience? And is that audience perceiving you as someone who's highly confident, or do you come across as arrogant, a know-it-all? Are you able to differentiate between the two? And this is where I'm saying about the feedback is that sometimes there are leaders, management positions, lecturers who see your potential. So they will tell you where you can go. Some students grasp onto that and they're like, this person, this is how I'm supposed to live my life. And that's the part where you have to be so careful. So yes, they might see your potential and think that you're suited for one specific career, but what about what you want? What are you passionate about? Your values come into play as well, and so does your belief system, as well as, building up in regards of how am I going to use these values and beliefs and put it into my personal brand and put it into my career strategy as well. Yeah. So it's a really big piece for me, because I believe knowing yourself will help you to identify your passion, will help you to identify your competencies, and essentially being your most authentic self is how you can win clients. It's how you can win an employee over and an employer over. I've done it in interviews before, and I've been so nervous that I literally just showcase my true self. And when I do that, it's like the interview changes, the air changes, because now they're more relaxed. They're like, okay, tell me about this person. This is who I want to know. This is who I want to engage with, because essentially that's who I saw fitting into our environment as an employer, or this is who I saw building a relationship as a client, that kind of way. So that's the part where I'm saying it's really important. The most authentic self, it's the only way that you can truly get an employer to see exactly what you're about. And they can also assess whether you are the right fit for their organization. I hope that explains it. I feel like I went about it in like a real, like,
was a good few things actually, and you got me thinking, because as you said, how career strategy and personal branding is connected for values. As you said, assessment, knowing if this is where I start. When I start the process of career strategy, I said to you really need to know your values, because this is like a signpost, a guideline for which companies you're going to connect, which not. And then, as you said, you assess yourself on deeper level and how you can contribute, and you communicate from your authentic self.
Exactly.
And very often, it's a very interesting thing, and you touched here about communicating from you as a individual being, because that's very important for personal branding. And I remember I went to get one of the great courses from Tony Robbins, and he said it is a very important thing, being authentic, because he's very fan of modeling but not copying others. Finding the tools that are suitable to you, because this constant improvement is crucial for us growth, for our growth, and knowing ourselves even better. And I really like what you said, that this is so important that we assess, and also in the same time communicate from this authentic point of view. And when it's come to, let's say, interview stage, the key thing is, when you practice certain communication styles, you will know which one resonates with your personality best. And you just follow this. It's not about, as I mentioned before, copying. It's about following this.
Well, what did you think about this video? Feel free to join our LinkedIn group and comment below the video. Hopefully I will see you soon. Thank you.